Look, villain, who I've now cornered.
Yes.
I could kill you, and I've wanted to this whole 2 hours.
Yes.
But that would just make me no better than you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna slowly turn my back on you and walk away. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I had to kill you in self-defense. I'm still blameless, but you're dead anyway. Yay, Disney. Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Boys. Season 1, episodes 7 and 8. The season finale.
Ooh.
Self-Preservation Society, and You Found Me. We're also going to talk about maybe some theories on what season 2 will bring. Season 2 has been renewed for season 2,
yes.
So we know that's coming.
It's coming.
And apparently, Amazon's giving them a lot of cash to do it. So,
wow. Yeah.
They're all in. They're pushing the chips in
That's
on
right.
The Boys.
That's right.
So, episode 7 begins with our flashback 8 years ago, Christmas party for Vought. It's where Butcher's wife Becca first meets Homelander.
Well, it's where Butcher first meets Homelander because she's like, "You did this." No, you're right. She didn't meet her.
She did it
because he had
like
to pick her,
offline.
right?
Yeah,
without having any interaction with her.
Right.
So he was like, "You're the one who did that, aren't you?"
Exactly.
How do you know my name? Because I can read.
Right. Oh, you have a name tag. And then we go to the end. Obviously, we'll talk about the last 10 minutes of episode 8 has a lot of revelations that show up. But before we get there, sir, your thoughts on these 2 episodes in particular, but as they apply to the season as a whole.
I think I liked the 2 episodes. I think the quality of all the episodes in the season was fairly consistent. I thought it was good, and they have interesting things happening to the characters. And I feel like it's they have a good balance in between the character exploration and the events that are happening in the world, which is them expanding Vought's influence to cover the whole world. So I thought they did a good job of world building, but also developing character.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree that they, in fact, that last episode, I'm not gonna say it's slow, but it is. There are a lot of quieter moments in the last episode. It's not just a shoot, fight, punch.
Right, and you could the interesting thing in that last episode with them being on the run and not really having much to do. I mean, they still try to associate themselves with that group. I guess it's CIA. To sort of help them out because they're kind of tapped out. So you would think that would actually be damage to the story, but no, they were able to explore what was going on with the characters well, and so yeah, I think they handled that. Even though the way it's paced is differently in that last episode, I think it still works.
Yeah. So yeah, let's cut right to the revelations we learned. So, I guess it's still technically up for debate, but it seems fairly obvious that Homelander sexually assaulted Butcher's wife. I mean, it's possible they had an affair, but I think evidence seems to be leaning towards perhaps more that it was a sexual assault. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if they decide to continue on from, I guess, the comics, which I go by what you tell me, it is possible that it's a sexual assault. It's hard for me to see why he would lie about that. When we didn't know, the audience didn't know that she was still alive, it made sense because it was like, haha, I'm going to make all this stuff up about her, about how she wanted it just to hurt you and goad you into
being
trying
Butcher,
right, to go Butcher into attacking him. But knowing what we know is that he knew that she was alive all that time, it makes less sense that he would lie, to me anyway. Okay. I guess it's still possible that he could have deluded himself about what she wanted. What we saw about her after the incident could be either way.
Right.
But to me, if it's an assault, it's less interesting because it's easier for Butcher to reckon. It's just like, okay, well, this is what I thought happened. I just thought he also killed her. So if it's like, no, it's an affair, which I don't think it cost them anything to have it, because she can just do that one act and still be devoted to her husband.
Gotcha.
I think it's more interesting.
Okay.
But, if that's where they're going to go, obviously there are ways that, and I guess it's more, well, as you were saying in the comics, she dies. So I guess it'd be interesting to maybe I should read the comic.
Supposedly, what happens in the comic, again, I actually haven't read it either. Supposedly, she dies in childbirth. The super kid is growing way too fast, kills her, and then I think Butcher is the one who kills the newborn infant. I guess he's there. So that whole process is, she's been fridged.
Yes,
she's off the board.
Right.
So the show
if it's happening way
is
too
taking
fast,
up.
I guess it makes sense. Like, okay, she goes back and then that. But yeah, interesting that they decided to. Obviously, they planned that from the very beginning, to have her disappear and believed to be dead.
Yeah, and obviously the Vought folks are promulgating that lie. So the Vought folks know where she is, and that she's alive and raising a kid, but are saying, nope, she died.
Yeah.
Childbirth.
And they're doing a really interesting job of fleshing out Homelander's backstory, which we also which we also just saw in the teaser for season 2.
Yeah.
Which is him as a child and seeing him interact with the person who should have been a father figure to him, but wanted to keep a distance.
We get the idea that guy, Dr. Vogelbaum, is dead, probably.
Yeah.
Because he has an interaction with Vogelbaum that we see, where Dr. Vogelbaum says, like, you were the greatest mistake I ever made.
Yes.
But in that moment, Homelander doesn't kill him.
Right.
And then we hear Homelander say, I went back to him.
Yeah.
And I heard him until he talked.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get the feeling that if you were to shoot a quick little where are they now moment, I think Vogelbaum's going to have a fried face in his lab somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
So that might be the end of Dr. Vogelbaum.
Well, maybe he killed him in some other way.
Sure. No. Sure. Right.
Yeah, don't limit Homelander. Don't limit
to
Homelander. No.
Improvisation.
Yeah. So many ways.
So many ways.
Maybe he punched his chest as he,
he grabbed his heart.
I don't know if he
put him on a plane, then crashed the plane.
Yeah, that's all right. See, maybe he has a list like, I've done that.
Yeah.
No.
Limb destruction. So I just say Dr. Vogelbaum probably not in a good way. But yeah, the little teaser for season 2's got this bit where we have a kid, probably, 10 years old-ish, Homelander, who's being shown all this propaganda. Like, this is Jesus Christ. You like baseball. They show him a Thanksgiving picture. He's like, who's the dad? He can't figure out who the dad is in the picture.
Yes,
like,
right.
Oh.
Yes.
And then, who's my dad, Dr. Vogelbaum? Are you my mom? I'm not sure. I guess the docent or the whatever you want to call it, the tutor, didn't want to say no to him.
Yes.
It could have just been like, I'm just your tutor.
Right.
Your mom is outside, whatever. But instead she's like, I'm your mom. You're like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Good luck. And then he squeezes her to death. And we get the idea that he's...
I was actually thinking, I was confused. At first I thought it was his kid. So I was like, he's in school and he's learning. And why doesn't he not know his own mother or something? Or he's not around his mother? Or he wants a new mother? But then no, it's not his Homelander.
Yeah.
So...
that's a good point, though. I guess I didn't think about it. Oh, it could have been, but yeah, it's Homelander.
And they set up too, or not set up, but I guess, Haz was asking us questions because it's certainly a compelling scene about what caused the other ones to die. So perhaps him denying him something.
Scientist comes in, says, like, I know we've skipped ahead to the what's coming next. But
yes.
So be it. We're doing what's coming next. We'll come back. We'll be talking about the 7 and 8 as well. But Scientist is like, oh, don't worry. Just fine. We'll get another one. And then Scientist makes a little diary recording saying, oh, yeah, he's killed another one. But this time, it wasn't out of anger. We're not sure what what inspired him to kill this particular one. But Dr. Vogelbaum said, just get another one.
Right.
And so we're seeing this particular murder. It seems, at first you think it's unintentional, but then that look on his face after they're bringing the woman out almost makes me feel like he intended to kill her. Instead of just being angry, there's some kind of weird sociopath thing going on.
Psychopath emotion?
A psychopath emotion. Because I'm an expert. I've been watching too much Mindhunter.
That's
where
what
I'm
it is,
the mom figure, and then he somehow associates his tutors with the
Well,
mom.
the interesting thing about Mindhunter in that aspect is it generally stems from the
Good
abuse.
show, by the way.
Excellent show. Abuse from the mother that ends up causing, at least,
in this case,
being
it would be
a part
the
of it.
absence of the mom. Or these mom figures lying to him constantly. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway,
you're trying to expand on the lie. It is, especially since they haven't written it.
Yeah.
But that's, to me, it makes me think more about, because the Fogel, in his interaction with in the final episode with Homelander, he acknowledges that he made a mistake by not being,
putting him in a loving family.
Yeah, putting him in a loving family. But he himself can't not be a dick. He can't not say crappy things.
I'm thinking to myself,
I don't know how
you're on thin ice, pal.
Initially when I first saw it, I just assumed that, when he said that I beat it out of him, that his learning about his learning about what happened to whatever her name is, Becca. Whatever happened to her happened after that, but no, it happened after the woman, Stillwell, told him, so it happened after that. So it's hard for me to imagine that he didn't just kill him after that. I'm your worst mistake, you dick.
I know. I assumed that was a somewhat now suicidal Vogelbaum going, I get it, you're going to kill me anyway, so I might as well tell you what I think. Yeah. But no, he left him alive. He must have been like, whoo, all right, we're going to play the lottery.
Hey, I think I now know how to talk to Homelander.
And then it's like, oh, he's back. Oh, okay.
What's up, dick?
Yeah, exactly. Let me keep this going. Yeah. You're, again, my worst mistake. Didn't mention that. And always hated you. Yeah. Didn't like your color choices. Yeah. Oh, you killed me.
It doesn't work.
We've been talking about how this leads into season 2. The moment that leads into season 2 is that Butcher, having gone to talk to, we meet Mallory, in Face to Face. We've been hearing about her. We don't know her backstory, but she is the one that kind of started the boys. She's the one that was like, when 8 years ago.
Oh, right.
She's the one that showed Butcher the footage.
Yeah.
Look, Homelander sexually assaulted your wife, and so got him into this group. Then we know that because Frenchie didn't follow Lamplighter, that Lamplighter killed her grandkids.
Those are the kids that's what they were talking about.
And so that's what made her go into hiding and do bird watching. She's like, either bird watching or alcoholism. So birds. So in any case, we don't know exactly what inspired her, but she probably has some kind of vengeance thing too. Like, you did something horrible to my family. But in any case, Mallory says the way you get at Homelander is through Stillwell. They've got this weird relationship, but he cares about her. If you threaten her, you can hurt Homelander. So Butcher goes to Stillwell's place, puts a big bomb on her, which is, I think, it's a great subversion of the comic superhero trope, which is the supervillain supervillain typically goes, I have your love interest, and now you must do as I say, ha ha ha, and then the hero has to come and save Lois Lane, or whoever. And so in this case, it's the guy that we're empathizing with Butcher more than Homelander. I think most people would agree.
Yes.
If not, like 100-0, it's probably somewhere in the 70-30. But in any case,
so if you empathize with Homelander, let us know.
Yeah, and let the authorities know. But so yeah, in this case, it's the guy we're rooting for is actually playing the role of the supervillain in a way, like I've got your love interest. So in any case, straps a bomb. Homelander shows up.
And just think about that. If he carried through with his plan, I mean, he intended to kill her.
Kill her and himself, probably, right?
Yeah, I guess there's no other way he could have done that.
What was his end game? Was he did he just want to, because if he's just gonna blow her up, did he want something out of Homelander, or did he want Homelander to be like, all right, I'll do whatever you need so that you don't hurt Stillwell.
Right?
I'll turn myself in.
I think
don't know, whatever.
No, I don't think so. I think he just wanted to hurt him. I think that was really all.
Then why even? I guess he wanted to wait so that Homelander would see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a pretty evil act.
Yeah.
There's also a kid involved.
And so that's what I'm trying to press on you.
Yeah.
Like trying to convince
he's a
him
great
that,
guy, lawful good.
That Homelander that's the reason why he likes Butcher.
Okay.
Because he sees,
He also notices in that moment that Butcher's not afraid of him. He says,
yes.
Your heart rate's up, but you're not afraid of me.
Right.
And he's impressed by that.
Yeah.
Because everyone's afraid of Homelander.
That's true, yeah.
So in this moment, Homelander kind of steals that victory away from Butcher in that he kills Stillwell himself. And the reason he kills her, I think, is, we talked about this, it's partially, it's that 70-30 thing. In the pie chart, there's a subset of the pie chart in which he's killing her so that Homelander can't, or that Butcher can't kill her. But he's also killing her because he realizes, he's known for a while now, that she lied to him about the existence of his son. Vogelbaum lied to him first. Then she, Stillwell, told a slightly different lie. He realized, wait, those two lies don't add up. He goes back to Vogelbaum off screen.
Yes.
Beats the crap out of him until Vogelbaum admits, yep, the son's alive.
Yes.
Then comes back in time to find Stillwell with a bomb strapped to her, and then goes, yeah, you lied. And I will now burn your face off.
I'm actually thinking about the arc of their relationship, Stillwell and Homelander, where it appears as if, they don't really consummate that relationship until that final episode. Yeah. And she's well aware that
she's using sex to manipulate him.
Yes, but also though it's she's taking on the motherly role as well. Mm-hmm. So that's why, with him having those jealous feelings about her baby, but just like one of the things that they say about psychology is like, babies have, the whole either Electra or complex or Oedipus complex. And then as they grow up, it's just like, I don't know what I was thinking. But he's somebody who is so arrested, his development, that it's like they have to infuse the two. Or at least that's what Stillwell believes. And she looks like she's right, like he has a sexual interest in her, but he's also feeling who wants motherly attention from her too. So it's not until that final episode where, it really does seem like it's like, okay, I realize I have to give this to you. Because after she had initially said she needed boundaries, obviously, no, that went away. I think she realized that she couldn't do that.
Then he has that big supervillain speech in a way to her where he's like, I'm the one who gave the compound V to everyone, so we can have all the supervillains in the world to fight.
Yes.
He's like, oh,
and then they did that very interesting thing where it's like, we only see the back of her head for that whole thing. Mm. And then she turns around and says, okay, it's, I'm
we get the feeling that perhaps internally she's horrified.
Yeah.
But
or frightened anyway. But that's feeling exactly that, and it's after too, she's told basically that she's on the track to become the head of the company.
She gets everything she wants.
Right.
Everything she wants.
Right. So she can certainly feel like everything I've done up to this point has been worth it.
Yep.
So, So it's interesting.
Time to get my face
For her, it
melted
might
off.
be 70-30, where it's like 70 or 30% of, oh, I'm having sex with Homelander because he, clearly I have to do this for him, which, you can suggest that that's like a kind of rape, actually.
Keep him in line. Yeah.
Right. But whether or not part of it, too, is like I've got everything I want, and now I want to, express that in a sexual act and celebrate it in a sexual act. She may have, so it might be 70-30 for her as well.
Speaking of which, we see the Deep is sexually assaulted.
Yes.
As well.
Right.
With his gills.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me wonder whether or not, because afterwards, I mean, who knows exactly what it was that, you might think that it's more him shaving his head and really feeling desperate is just like, okay, I can't be who I thought, and this is a terrible situation. But it might also be a reaction to that sexual experience. I mean, like, I guess in some level he must have needed, because he should have been aware that he could stop it, and he did try to stop it, but, she kind of like forced herself on him, which, is making me think that maybe it's going to lead to, in the second season, a change for him, that maybe he could be more empathetic to what he did to Starlight. Because he's supposed to be writing a memoir, right? And he initially couldn't think of something. So
I think the shaving of the head and all of the being exiled and stuff means I think he's going to come back as a villain, although he'll be a villain opposing the Seven, so maybe that's a good guy. I don't know, but I think he's going to be a screw you. I'm gonna do something for sea life or something like that. Like, humans are bad. He tries to save the lobsters, or a lobster again. So he's tried to save a dolphin. That was horrible.
Right.
Then he tries to save a lobster. A lobster gets stabbed.
Right.
And so you see these multiple attempts that would end in like a comedic, like whoopsie boops. But I feel like that's this notion of like, my life's going nowhere. I'm gonna shave my head. They were playing REM's "Everybody Hurts."
Right.
I was like, this dude's killing himself. I was convinced he was gonna commit suicide.
Right. It
And
does
then
seem
he
like
doesn't.
that. No, he doesn't.
So I think instead, you're suggesting maybe his change is, I'm gonna be a better person. I think instead it's gonna be,
I mean, because he could
hurt those who wrong me.
He could still have tried to reform his public image and still try to oppose them. In fact, that may be part of it, where he's, it's like, it's possible that he wouldn't actually redeem.
I guess we don't see that he's that powerful either. So, but maybe if he can control animal life, maybe he has some way to. Also, he has a huge weakness. We've seen his gills.
If he can get to them, I mean, he had to take off his clothes to get to them.
Yeah. But
I mean,
you just unzip the thing, and you're like, ah.
Yeah, don't let him unzip your thing.
I do see season 2 there's a character arc going on for him. The fact that he didn't commit suicide means to me he's back, and he won't just be, I'm back in the Seven.
Yeah.
He's going to be some big change is going to happen for him.
Right. I mean, yeah, who knows? It certainly doesn't seem like there is any actual threat to Vought currently, or the Seven, or any of them. Their only threats are internal and Homelander. So they successfully, I guess in the future, they could still try to expose it, I guess, or if the supervillains that they've created don't behave in a manner that they can actually control. And I guess really it wouldn't be in their interest to extinguish them, right?
Control them momentarily, but let them and not kill them off. We see the guy, I think his name is Captain.
That's what his name is translated into, yeah.
Which also suggests there's others. Well, we know there are others for sure, because Homelander says it, but it sounds like he's the leader of a team. Perhaps he's like the Homelander for a group of...
Perhaps I was sort of taking that to mean like Captain America.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we know that Homelander was like, oh yeah, it was a lot tougher to, make them once they're adults, but
yes,
ones that lived.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So horrible, evil lab practices going on somewhere. Apparently, in the comics, there is a push that once they get into the military, which they've now done,
Right.
You see Homelander working on behalf of the military. You guys are the real heroes.
Yeah.
Apparently, then it's like, and now politics, and now president.
Okay.
Like we could see perhaps a Homelander trying to take over.
Yeah.
As leader of
As president of the United States.
Yeah.
Lets his hair grow,
Yeah.
to cover how he's balding.
Correct.
Correct. Starts to get a lot of tans,
If that's what we see in episode 1, we're like, oh, I get it. So we haven't really talked at all about Starlight and Huey, who are kind of our two.
True. We haven't.
The every man and every woman of the show in a way.
Right.
I mean, because Homelander really is the reason to watch this show. In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just so the more we talk about him, I mean, he's just great. Anyway.
But I think they did a good job with that relationship. The times when they were together, in contrast to the romantic relationship that you didn't like in Mindhunter.
Yeah, good point.
I think they did a good job of believably establishing why those two would be attracted to each other, and how their individual stories in relationship to Vought dovetailed and caused them to come together.
Yeah, very cool. In episode 7, you've got the situation where Homelander finally puts it all together. Oh, Butcher was the guy who was married to that woman from 8 years ago, and Huey is working with them. He's the guy that's A-Train had to killed his girlfriend.
Yes.
And so all that stuff comes to light. Homelander calls the big meeting and basically comes fairly close to killing Starlight.
Yeah.
It's Maeve that talks him down from just going, I think, lasering her or doing whatever. You could kill her in a lot of ways.
Yeah, a lot of different ways to kill her.
A lot of ways.
That's right.
A lot of ways to kill her.
A lot of ways, yeah. He's not limited.
But yeah, it's a very tense moment where you're like, oh crap, you're like, tell me why basically I shouldn't kill you right now. So there's that. So Starlight is obviously on the outs with the Seven because they think she's a spy for the boys.
Well, they think she's too stupid.
Maeve does. That's how Maeve talks her out.
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
Homelander thinks she's actively working against them.
Right.
Ever since you showed up, all these things are happening.
Yeah.
So there's that. And on the other end, you've got the boys, specifically Butcher, is suspicious of Huey because Huey's keeps contacting Starlight, and it's like, you're working with the enemy, and he's like, look, she's not a bad person. He's like, she is horrible. She's
it seems like his greatest reaction is when Huey tried to quit.
Yeah.
So initially it was sort of like, you're not going anywhere. Oh, you think you're going to have some life with her? Forget it. And so, which causes once after that meeting with Homelander and she's allowed to live, she wants to confront Huey. And that's when Huey does tell the truth. But I think they did a good job of showing sincerely that he does actually care for her.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he meets her in the park. Butcher assumes that Huey's going to meet Starlight, so follows him, shoots Starlight, who is impervious.
Relatively.
She falls down.
Yeah, she falls
like,
down
ouch.
and she's out. Yeah, it hurts her.
That does not doom their relationship.
No.
They are certainly an item by the end of the first season.
Well, I guess provisionally, right? I mean, like, she accepted that, she had to be talked into it, but, she kind of accepted that something was going wrong, and so she did want to be a part of helping him free his friends. And
he's the one that tells her about Compound V, which makes her then go confront her mom.
Right.
To say, look, did you, what? She's like, oh, yeah, well, they paid me a lot of money to put you up for experiments, but, hey.
Well, she was trying to make, yes.
That's why her dad left.
Right.
So she's got family issues, too.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
she does.
Her dad left because he's like, I don't want to subject our daughter to experiments. I don't know. I'm not sure what the old reasoning was, but something around that decision was what made the dad.
Yeah, initially he was okay with it, but then he was not okay with it. So he changed his mind for some reason.
We have a situation then where A-Train decides to get back at Huey by going to Huey's house, kidnapping Simon Pegg.
Yes.
Or holding him hostage, I should say.
Holding hostage, yeah.
And basically luring Huey to the house so that he can kill Huey. I mean, essentially what he wants to do. Yeah. And so Huey goes. They have a little moment there. As much as A-Train is certainly in the wrong,
Yes.
he does have an interesting point. Again, it's in that pie chart. It's more like a 90-10. But his 10% of, I accidentally killed your girlfriend.
Yes.
You intentionally tried to screw my girlfriend over.
Well, that's the 10%.
Yeah.
The rest of it is though that you were let off.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I intentionally killed my girlfriend because she was causing problems.
Yes.
And now I'm here about to kill you and your dad.
Yeah, that later on he will blame him for as well. I guess he doesn't at that point.
So something that, whatever. It's just it's a small point, but it did bother me in the moment. Is in this, they're standing in a living room. A-Train has basically just said, "I'm going to kill you, Huey," and Huey pulls out some of the Compound V. He knows that A-Train is addicted to it, and it, would desperately want it. Yeah. So he's like, "Hey!"
I know it's the second time it was actually a syringe, but he was still.
Yeah.
So that's what he's like.
Yeah, that's right. So he pours it out. But so he's like, "All right, hey, you want this? You want this?" And then he does a little plunger, and then he's like, "I know where more of it is." Well, the whole time I'm like, why is if I'm Huey, I would assume the fastest man in the world who's standing 5 feet away from me, if I show him a thing, he's probably just going to take it.
Yeah.
He doesn't take it.
Well, what he should have done is shown him and then poured it out and then told him that was V.
Yeah, something like that. Good point. But he doesn't. He shows it first, then pours it out. And H.'s like, no, stop. You're like, why are you?
It's like
you could
he was
totally
so he could have grabbed it, but even after he was still slow, he could have put his head.
Okay, you were saying? So just a little weird how suddenly A-Train's powers were kind of turned off briefly.
Well, that's not what he is. He's too dumb to use his own powers.
That's my point, but I'm just saying
they weren't turned off.
The show
his
turned
power
of
knowing what to do. That's his power that's got turned off.
So then, to make sure that he's not going to follow them, they have Kimiko show up and break his leg.
Yes.
That's a good way to stop a speedster.
Yeah, which makes you. I mean, it's like, where was she hiding?
Yeah,
because he goes to look around. Oh yeah, you did come. You are dumb.
Yeah. Right. So he then uses a bunch of Compound V to repair himself, which then leads to the fact that at the very end he's really hopped up on Compound V. And as he's about to kill Huey again, he suffers a heart attack. And he's dying, and Huey makes the decision to save the life of the guy who killed his girlfriend. So he's giving him CPR, chest compressions.
Yes.
And he tells Starlight to call it in. Starlight, for a minute, it's like, well, but that's going to be bad for us. But okay, it's the right thing to do. We're calling it in. So she calls it in. And then tells Huey to run away. And she's like, I'll deal with this.
Yes.
And so, how do we see the repercussions of that? Like, let's say the cops show up. She's like, A-Train's hurt. He had a heart attack. Assuming A-Train lives, you're suggesting that perhaps A-Train doesn't live, but I think A-Train probably survives. And then we have A-Train's story versus hers, or I don't know if she's going to try to not tell the same story, but she's going to be like, I let these guys go.
How'd you get out of that?
And I attacked A-Train.
Yeah, I mean...
Just how does that work? I don't know.
Right, yeah, see, that's what makes you think it's more likely that he dies. In that it doesn't require her to leave the vault at all.
I just feel like...
Because she should be punished if that's the case. It's like you set somebody free, you should go to jail.
Yeah.
If Homelander just doesn't decide to kill her.
I just feel like if you go through the whole thing of Huey making the decision to save A-Train, it undercuts that choice if he then dies anyway, I think.
I mean, the only important thing, why?
I don't know, it just feels like...
It's like you don't see it happen that season.
It's like he gets his cake and eats it too, in a way. I don't know, it's like, I wanted you dead. I'll try to save your life. Yeah, you died anyway.
but the important thing for him is actually what he learned, and that he had to leave behind trying to get revenge. So
It's
he
the-
should get a reward.
It's the it's the Disney hero ending where it's like,
yes.
look, villain, who I've now cornered.
Yes.
I could kill you, and I've wanted to this whole 2 hours.
Yes.
But that would just make me no better than you.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna slowly turn my back on you and walk away. Oh wait, what? Oh, I had to kill you in self-defense. I'm still blameless, but you're dead anyway. Yay, Disney.
Well,
Anyway.
I think typically it would be like I'm some sort of ravine, and you like stop
Yeah.
me, and then I fall.
Oh yeah. In your efforts to kill me, you
Yes,
swing too
yeah,
hard and
it's
you fall
so
down.
important for me to kill you at this moment that it doesn't matter that that's a perilous act for me. So, and then I die.
So it's like, oh, he's dead anyway. I got what I wanted, but I'm blameless.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way. I feel like if they go that direction, that's kind of the way they feel. I feel like A-Train's alive. I'm going to say it. I think
Okay.
A-Train's alive,
All right.
and there's a problem then, and then Starlight has to be like, leave the 7? Maybe she just leaves the 7.
You don't think she'll suffer repercussions for betraying them?
Oh, she suffered repercussions, but maybe she's on the run with the boys or something. Or, I don't know. There's a big shift, obviously. Coming.
Yeah.
There's a power shift. They're also going to need more members of the 7 anyway. Right now, they're the 5, and you've got maybe a dead A-Train, certainly a compromised Starlight.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see perhaps 2 or 3 new members of the 7 show up. Look, it's
Maybe Ezekiel could get on
Super
there.
Guy.
Come on, Ezekiel could get on
Oh,
there.
that's true. Stretchy arms.
Yeah.
Can't really get zombie pop claw.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll just see. But I think perhaps we'll see some new members of the 7 showing up. I know we've glossed over some stuff. What are some big points I'm missing, sir?
I mean, there's a lot. I assume I can't think of it.
Oh well.
Or we can just go through the other characters, right? I mean,
Right. So obviously
like
there's this big
Frenchie, for
conspiracy.
instance, is oh, yeah.
Homelander gave V
Yes.
to, created supervillains so that the army, the military would have to hire the 7 to save them from supervillains. So all their big weaponry is useless now. So they need the 7.
Yeah.
And that's going to obviously come home to roost as they've created a whole world of supers.
Yes. Well, yes. Supers that are not on the side of,
Right. They're not Vought controlled.
Right.
Or
well,
they are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, good point.
And what we discovered is that changed things for the boys, in that initially they had exposed them to the government, but then they had to change the deal because the political winds had changed since they had, and that's not what they didn't have proof of that, right? They only had proof of what Compound V does.
Yeah, it seemed like they were about to pull the trigger, and then got this call of like, oh, by the way, there's this super terrorist who's killing everybody, and that's gonna because one of the agreements that Vought was gonna make was, oh, and we're gonna pull our request.
Yes.
To be in the military.
Right.
But then they.
Yeah, because otherwise we will disperse your name by your bunch of hyped up drug users or whatever.
I think it's interesting. So we see the Kimiko Frenchie angle. Huey makes a choice to rescue his friends in that moment. By the way, that's when he goes against Butcher, who just wants to continue to go after Homelander.
Yes.
But I think it's interesting that Kimiko, much like we see these images of Homelander in the lab and how it turns him into a psychopath.
Yes.
Kimiko seems to have a similar childhood where she's disconnected from humanity, but this relationship with Frenchie is bringing her, kind of seeming to make her more human. So it seems like that's what that theme keeps coming back.
I think perhaps what I'm hoping happens, I guess, or at least we learn, it makes more sense to me if she recovers her humanity as opposed to, like before she got involved with that group, I guess.
Yeah.
In that combing her hair and all that. And she seems to want to almost be talking and then decide not to.
Yeah, so we'll probably see her talk in season 2. Perhaps.
Maybe they'll find a way to have her be able to communicate
Because right now, the boys have a super, essentially. They've got a soup on their side.
That's true, yeah. So maybe that argues for what you're saying, in that they'll have two. They'll have Twilight, I was called it.
They'll have Twilight. She'll sparkle.
Her and Starlight and Kimiko will be on their side, maybe. And maybe, well, no. I was going to say maybe the Deep. I think you're probably right in that he's not going to be. But potentially he could be.
He could be.
It might be an interesting thing. I mean, I'm inclined to think that they're not, that there'll be a way to, I don't know. I wonder if the show really is going to develop a group outside of Vought. I feel like one thing we haven't seen is like a competition for Vought. So, the fact that they haven't had, or maybe they just successfully killed anyone trying to do corporate espionage.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, you have the 7, we have the Special 6.
Yeah. So you didn't have that, and that would be an interesting sort of comparison to, would be DC versus Marvel. So it'd be interesting they were sort of Marvel if they discovered, and then like the secret would end up being like, oh shoot, there are all sorts of people who would love to try, and then there'd be groups that were like, oh, we've perfected it now. You're not going to kill 8 out of 10 people to get somebody as an adult. No, now we perfected it so that, no, just give it to any, now we'd only kill 2 out of 4.
If you're rich enough, you can be super.
Yeah.
Essentially. The big lingering question is like the immediate future for Butcher. Right, he's lying on the front lawn of his wife that he thought was dead.
Yep.
She's standing there looking at him. She's also not running to him.
Nope.
She's like, you're there.
Yeah, which to me suggests that,
like, oops, perhaps she had an affair.
Yeah, because, right, if it was like, oh, he raped me, and then I went to the company, and they were like, oh, well, I'm getting pregnant, there's no reason why she shouldn't have told if it was rape.
I hear you. Well, what is the reason why she's in hiding, has been in hiding for 8 years?
I mean, if she's, has to raise a kid, then maybe you wouldn't want to tell him. So maybe it's still possible that it was an assault. It's just, I feel like there's more to play out.
So that question aside, we have Butcher, who, I could make the argument that Homelander might just turn around and shoot him with his laser eyes, or kill him in another way. Because so Homelander saved him from the explosion.
Yep.
Flew him to this house, lay him on the ground.
Yes.
Woke him up.
Yes.
Then it was like, ha!
Yes.
Now you get to see that the foundations upon which you based your revenge are wrong.
Yep.
Ha!
Yep.
You.
Yep.
So what now?
Yeah, your whole thing, you should kill him now. It's like that would defeat the whole purpose of him saving him. He's just gonna like, oh, good, now that you're experiencing
just make him
I'm bored now. I will kill you.
Like crush him emotionally and then crush him.
And then
physically.
kill him.
But no, so I mean,
that's the thing that to me a lot of people get caught up in. It's like, everything he does do is evil. He must want to kill everyone who is there, and
it's the King Joffrey thing. That was the thing I always noticed about King Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Every scene with him, he was evil.
Yes.
Even if it was like pass the turkey, he had to do that in an evil way. There could be no scene of him not doing an evil thing.
Exactly. So I mean, it might feel like, maybe it feels that way to you, audience, that he actually, Homelander doesn't have a motivation to let Butcher live, but besides just for the sake of the show and killing Butcher, I feel like Butcher certainly has, I think, a motivation to not make the woman who's raising his child upset.
Right. So in this way, Homelander's got Butcher's weakness potentially in that Becca, but then Butcher now has Homelander's weakness for sure, his kid.
Right.
Like, he's now revealed, here's my weakness.
Yeah.
I have this kid I really care about who's 8.
Right.
And so they both are hanging around each other's weakness in that moment. And it's like weird because they're all technically then they'd be not necessarily related, but it'd be like, oh, it's your old Uncle Butcher. Like, they try to play that out.
Yeah.
Like, you can live next door. My two dads.
Can we get some sugar?
So that family dynamic, I think, is going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. But I assume Butcher's not going to die. So does he just get up and
right? Because
drive off?
One thing they
could you fly me back to my garage, please?
One thing they suggest in highlighting in the trailer or the teaser for season 2 is how much he's saying we're a family. And to what extent would he be a father, right? Like, wouldn't it be better for him to sort of be the biological father, and for Butcher to be the stay-at-home, deal with all the crap father?
Wow. Maybe because I guess technically Butcher, I think, would still be married to
Right.
Becca. I certainly didn't get a divorce because he thought she was dead.
Right. And the fact that it wasn't, hey, we'll tell Homelander so he can, be the new husband of, Butcher's wife.
So maybe that's this thing where you've got a situation where Homelander's like, you, Butcher, you wanted to be with your wife anyway. You live with your wife. I brought you your wife.
Yeah.
You raised my kid.
Yeah.
I'll stop in occasionally on Christmas and go, here's some gifts.
Or like, hey, the weekends or whatever, because they could share custody.
And so there'd be the tension of raising this incredibly dangerous, as we've seen. We had the practically 8-year-old kid hugging the tutor to death.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
But potentially, it's not nearly as bad since she's lived this long with him.
Yeah, it wouldn't be her. It'd be Butcher, right? It'd be like, you're not my real daddy. Yeah. Punched to death, so there we go. That's our theory.
So, see, I think Homelander would prefer that.
I'll have you attempt to keep my kid happy until he's not happy, and then he'll kill you in his sleep.
Yeah. Much better.
Much better. So what are your theories out there for season 2 of The Boys? Let us know that in the comments. I'd be happy to hear that.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise, yes, generally.
Yeah, sure.
That's our thing. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for recommending The Boys out there. So some commenters did that and really enjoyed this show. It's very clever and a nice reaction to kind of modern superhero-dom. It's definitely a parody. Parody is kind of the wrong word. A satire.
Yes,
I think is the best
satire.
Word. It's a satire of superhero genre.
Yes.
So well done, boys. Yes. And we'll be back talking about Carnival Row.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about Mr. Robot.
Yes, we will.
And we're almost certainly going to be talking about The Watchmen as well.
That show.
Sure. So anyway, thanks, everybody. And we'll see you next time.